afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Alyssa Corum and Ken Shreve here, and on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at Abbott as well as Akamai and Costco. But before we do that, let's take a look at those major indexes. So this is a chart of the Nasdaq here, and we saw a really strong close today. The Nasdaq finishing up 1.7%. We also had the S&P finish up 0.6%, and the Dow was even to enter positive territory by the end of the day, up fractionally after spending much of the session in the red.
Yeah, and it was really just another day of outperformance for the Nasdaq. It was pretty strong all day, but you mentioned the Dow and the S&P, really a kind of a similar theme this week, have had a hard time keeping up with the Nasdaq. So, all in all, another solid day for the market. The Dow and the S&P closed up near highs, but again, the Nasdaq outperformed by a wide margin, up 1.7%. I was just going through the Nasdaq 100, seeing big gainers like Amazon and NVIDIA, Applied Materials, and also Regeneron, which is working on a very interesting coronavirus vaccine. So lots of broad-based strength in the NASDAQ 100, and this confirmed uptrend is very much intact.
Yes, it is. And we are seeing a lot of stocks that have been on our watch list now kind of turn into that actionable category. And Abbott Labs has been on investors' radars with the coronavirus. It's involved in the testing aspect, and shares surged to a new high today, up about 5.7% in heavy volume. A breakout here on a strong earnings report.
Yeah, you can see a really bullish move off lows. It wasn't that long ago. This was, a $70 stock, but it has made a strong move in recent weeks and a just good solid technical breakout today over a 92.55 buy point. So this one actually still looks to be in buy range by the close. You had a really nice earnings report from Abbott, where earnings and sales topped expectations, but the real story here is this company has really turned into a coronavirus test leader. They just launched their third separate coronavirus test. This last one basically detects antibodies associated with a prior COVID-19 infection. So they've got 3 tests now out on the market, and just a good solid breakout today for Abbott Labs.
Yeah, that's right. And Costco was up today as it raised its dividend. So we saw a gain of about 3.6% here for Costco. It's been able to hold up relatively well amid the crash. And now it is looking like it is testing almost those new highs after climbing above that round number of 320.
Yeah, definitely a good point. And Costco, one of the top retailers. Obviously, the lines have been long at Costco for a while now. But you mentioned that they did raise their dividend to 70 cents a share. Not too many companies raising their dividends these days. So Costco still in a pretty good financial position here. And the important thing is it's approaching a new buy point, and we would consider this an early stage base. So if it can break out over that recent high of 325.26, you'd have another breakout here for Costco. But company obviously has been enjoying very strong business in recent weeks as a result of this virus outbreak.
Yes, definitely. And last but not least on our list is Akamai Technologies, a corona play in itself on the streaming side of that content delivery over the internet. Surging today over 5% strong volume. Would you consider this to be extended now, Ken?
I wouldn't. It did break out over an early buy point of 98.35, but it did top an alternate entry here, that recent high of 103.34. So,
right.
At some point, maybe look at a weekly chart here and see that the stock is, it really doesn't look like the train has left the station here. There's a quick flip over to the weekly view here. So I would still look at this one as in buy range from an alternate entry. Akamai has very interesting technology. They're a provider of content delivery network services. So when companies need faster e-commerce transactions, or video streaming to mobile devices, this is what Akamai's cloud services are there for. So companies well positioned here. They've also been kind of getting into the security market through some recent acquisitions. So still like Akamai's story here. And listen, when you're in the early stages of a new market uptrend, which we are, you want to see stocks breaking out to new highs. And we have seen a steady diet really all this week of good solid breakouts across a variety of industry groups and sectors.
Yes, it's very encouraging to see. And this is a great point here. We like looking at not just those daily charts, but those weekly charts as well. You want to get a full sense of what those buy points are. And we do lean on those weekly charts for the buy points. So make sure you are definitely checking those in your analysis. And hey, those monthly charts too, those also, each of the different charts help tell a different piece of the story.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, if you have a second, can we go back to the Nasdaq chart? I wanted to mention something about the Nasdaq at the top of the show
Yes.
that I forgot to mention, but we're going to look at the Nasdaq here, and yeah, we mentioned, so we're in it's been a really nice move off the lows for the Nasdaq. It has been the top performing index by far this week, but just want to let people know that on this chart, you look down around the 8,000 level. That's where the 10-day and the 21-day moving average is, and I think Mike Webster mentioned something to this effect on IBD Live earlier this week that we could get a pullback for the Nasdaq, and it could all come down to the 8,000 level. It's going to start consolidating and pulling back at some point. And that, really wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. So while people have been making money in the market this week and enjoying this uptrend, we're going to get a pullback at some point, and even a drop down to that 8,000 level, even though that would be a fairly sharp decline, that 8,000 level, as well as those converged moving averages there, could turn out to be a pretty good support level. So hopefully we don't get down that far, but it does look to be a major level of support right around 8,000 for the Nasdaq.
Yeah, such a good point. Investors should be prepared for anything at this point. We know that things can change very quickly, so it's always good to remain flexible when you're investing. And the best place to get a pep talk on how you should be handling your portfolio is definitely IBD Live each morning. So if you've not checked that out already, make sure you do so at investors.com/IBD Live. Our morning live stream, hour plus long, starting 10 minutes before the opening bell, running through the first hour of trade. Just a great place to not only get trade ideas and perspective on the market, but really a check on how you should be handling things from a mental perspective too.
Yeah, definitely. We've had 4 great shows already this week, and we'll wrap up the week tomorrow. I know you'll be on, and we'll be answering questions. And but yeah, IBD Live is really has done a good job talking about really the most actionable stocks each morning. There's been a lot to work with ever since the week started on Monday. It's been a real solid week for the Nasdaq, and we've seen a lot of breakouts and a lot of strong moves. So this is what you get with IBD Live every morning. We come on 10 minutes before the market open and really discuss stocks on the move and interesting growth stocks that are in many cases passing buy points.
Yep, that's right. We'd love for you to check it out. So we'll see you there tomorrow morning, and we'll see you right back here after the close. Thanks for watching.